Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gen X Lounge, the bi-weekly-ish podcast where we discuss the pop culture today and look back at the pop culture yesterday. This is episode 30. 30. My God. No, that's not. I am your host, Brian, and today in the lounge, we have... Dutch is here.
Wearing a Batman hat. Honestly, that's kind of funny.
It is. What the hell, man?
That's, it's new. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. I accept it. It's because we're going to talk about Penguin later.
Yes.
And that was a very Batman-heavy show.
He's so Batman-heavy.
Felt through every episode, I felt Batman's presence. Also, with us to discuss Penguin and other things is...
You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn.
Evening, gentlemen. How's it going? Good.
Good, man. Long time no see. Got a Quinn and Bolo in person.
Yeah, we got to hang out the other night. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. My sister and her husband came over. We all had some beverages. It was pretty fun, honestly. Got to use the bar since I fixed it up in the basement. That's always fun. So
it was a good time.
And got to see Bolo. Bolo may or may not be here later. So we'll see.
Bolo showed up immediately was like, "Where's Dutch?"
I know. He's doing his physical therapy thing. He not receiving physical therapy, but giving physical therapy. I assume.
Whoa, okay.
I assume that's what he meant.
That's
Bolo's physical therapy.
Weird way to phrase that, but yeah, he's working it.
He's working. He's doing that thing. So.
Center City, Philadelphia. You can't miss him.
You waited till I took a drink of beer. That was good. It's interesting. Not interesting. I don't know what it is. But if I were to ask you guys, who is Jacques Cousteau, you would know who that is, right?
Correct.
Yes, he is the Pink Panther's foil. Or Pink Panther is his foil.
Yes, that's correct. He's also a scuba man.
Wait, am I thinking of Inspector Clouseau?
You're thinking of Inspector Clouseau.
Whoops.
Not Jacques Cousteau. Oh, I thought you were making...
No, I legit fucked that one up, dude. Come on, they're very close.
Yeah, what was funny is I was like, man, Dutch is quick. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
No.
Damn it, I should have just played it along.
Yeah.
Speaking of Inspector Clouseau, every so often I'll watch that clip. I don't even know which Pink Panther movie it's from, but where he sees the parallel bars and he jumps on him and he does this like awesome parallel bar routine and then he dismounts, but there's a set of stairs right next to the bars and he tumbles down the stairs. One of the funniest fucking things. Those movies are so goddamn funny.
They are.
That's like a type of humor that they don't make movies like that anymore either. You know, though it's not like
they also don't make. They also really don't make any Peter Sellers anymore. So,
well, because
that's true.
Yeah. He was an interesting guy, but Jacques
very
Cousteau though he was the oceanographer guy.
Yeah,
and I feel like everybody like from our age knows who he was, but
apparently I don't.
Well, you did though. You just had him confused. But I feel like it's just such a Gen X thing. I don't know even why he got brought up, but I was talking about him to my daughter, and I was like, "You know who Jacques Cousteau is?" And she was like, "Who?" And then I asked my nephew, who's going to be 21, and he was also like, "Who?"
Do you remember who Jacques Lafleur was?
Wasn't he a famous hockey man?
Yeah,
he bleeds on the inside.
Sure, he was a goalie for the Maple Leafs at some point.
I was thinking of the dude who was hunting Harry and Harry and the Hendersons.
How about Guy Ledouche? You remember that guy?
No.
From MXC? From Most Extreme Elimination Challenge?
That's going way back.
That is going.
Was that your high school nickname?
No, I was just Guy Ledouche. We weren't classy in Kennett. All right. What's new with everybody?
Not a lot, man. My Steelers are riding high.
Right? My Eagles are riding high.
Yeah. And my Giants are just not being Giants.
Yeah.
They might be Giants, but they're not.
Yeah, I think this was an off podcast conversation that we had about of everybody on the podcast. You have the best like joy of being a sports fan because you like the Yankees who've won multiple World Series in your lifetime.
Away the World Series?
I know they just blew the World Series. I know, but they've won multiple in your lifetime. You've seen your team win multiple World Championships in baseball, and you've also in your lifetime seen your team win multiple Super Bowls in football,
including one of the best Super Bowls ever played.
Which would be what? Well,
42. The end of the Patriots' perfect season.
End of the Patriots.
The undefeated season. When you had every fan outside of New England rooting for you.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what. Like I said, we probably broached this before. Like Eli does not get enough credit for that second Super Bowl against the Patriots. He got knocked on his ass so much in that postseason, and just kept on getting up because he was awesome.
Didn't he win MVP?
All times.
Well, that's getting enough credit, no?
Yeah, he's gonna. I fully expect him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You think?
Yeah, he's on the ballot this year, coming up.
It'll be interesting. I mean, those Super Bowls carry a lot of weight, but he had a lot of lean years.
He did, but that was also largely due to the team that was put around him. So, especially towards the end. I mean, like earlier on. Yeah, I could see that being a legit criticism. He never got into a season MVP. His brother did. But again, just dialing it up against, the best team of our time. I mean, the New England Patriots of that dynasty era. We're not going to see anything like that probably ever again. So it's hard to win a Super Bowl. You all know this. To do it like.
Well, what do you think the chances of the Chiefs going undefeated this year are? I mean, they're 9-0.
Boy, the way they're playing, I'd say it's cool.
The way the refs.
I mean, I think they might lose this week to the Bills. The Bills.
They got to play. Have they played the Chargers yet? I don't know.
I don't. Well, they play them twice, right? I think they've played them once.
Okay, so they got the Bills. They play the Steelers in Pittsburgh on Christmas Day.
I'll be rooting for the Steelers. I generally don't root for your team, but I found myself rooting for your team more this year. I've always liked Russell Wilson. So like it's hard for me to root. He's corny as hell, but like I'd rather have a corny player on my team than a wife beater on my team. So, you know what I mean? So
I root for the Steelers in the AFC just because of the fact that the Steelers and the Giants are family.
Yeah.
Why did I say that?
But Dutch, the Super Bowl where the Giants beat the Bills. Were you a Giants fan at that point, or were you too?
Dude, I was like 3-4 years old. I wasn't even really watching football. And when I was younger, I didn't really care about football, but my parents dressed me in Eagles gear. So there are many pictures of me wearing Kelly green, and I've confiscated all of them. I admit to their existence, but you ain't seeing them.
But that shows the age difference.
That was a great Super Bowl.
I was at a high school party, a Super Bowl party.
Super Bowl, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's the first Super Bowl I really, really remember paying 100% attention to. From the beginning, like I remember the '85 Bears. You know what I mean? And I remember. The first Super Bowl I remember is the Eagles losing to the Raiders, but I only remember it as a little kid and knowing that the Eagles were playing in the Super Bowl, and that is all I knew, and that they lost. But I remember like the 49ers and the Dolphins Super Bowl.
I remember that Dan Marino's rookie year.
Yeah, like I would, and I was enough of a fan of football that I would always watch the Super Bowls in the elementary school and stuff, but I didn't really follow like football until until 87, 88, 89. I started.
You weren't ready for some football,
I wasn't ready for some football yet, but then I became ready for some football. The
I
game
remember
that really got me into football is the body bag game. I don't know, Dutch, if you don't remember. You wouldn't remember that. Quinn, you would remember the body bag.
Yeah,
game.
absolutely.
It was a Monday night football game against the Redskins where the Eagles defense was just ridiculous for like 4 years in a row. Where the Eagles defense knocked out so many Redskins players that by the end of the game, the quarterback was Brian Mitchell, who was their punt returner.
Yeah, he was their kick return. Hall of Famer.
So they went right through the third stringer.
Yeah, they went through everybody. It was unbelievable. So incredible. That game was the body bag game. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's but yeah, I mean, and Quinn, you're right there too. I mean, you've seen your teams win a shit ton of championships. At least your football team.
Yeah, I mean, they won 2 in my adult life, which is great. Like I really didn't start. They won their 70s dynasty. The last one was in 79, and I was too young for that, so I didn't really catch that. I didn't start watching. I remember the 49ers Bengals Super Bowls pretty clearly.
Yep.
They
got their leg broken in a gruesome fashion in one of those Bengals 49ers Super Bowls. I distinctly remember that.
Yeah, one of the linemen, right?
One of the offensive linemen, I think it was, for the Bengals.
Yeah. But the Redskins Dolphins game where John Riggins was just running through them, that's when I really started to, I don't know, get into football and realize that, one person could take over the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, really, it's just the Pirates. I saw the Penguins win back-to-back Stanley Cups in 2008, 2009.
I say, dude. They.
I mean, you got to watch Mario Lemieux. I mean,
I got to watch Lemieux and Jagr back when I was in high school. So yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh's been pretty great outside of the Pirates, who haven't won since they haven't won a championship in my lifetime, but they were at least in it. In the NL championship when we were in college. Yeah. Haven't had a sniff of it.
Me and Bolo have been the sad guys.
Dude, I mean, like basketball and hockey, I'm like Sixers and Flyers. I haven't seen anything from either one of them in my life.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Stanley Cup Finals in '97.
Yeah, around that time, I may have been a bigger Flyers fan than any other sports. Like around 95, 96, 97.
I legit was, because I was not watching baseball at the time when I was younger. At that point, I had started when I was a kid. I was a Phillies fan. Then, because that was like a thing between like my dad and I would watch baseball. Then he got in his motorcycle accident. He changed, and I ceased enjoying it. So hockey kind of filled in like my love of sports when I was like really, really young. So. Yeah, I remember that '97 season.
Hockey's fun. Hockey's my favorite live sport to go see too. It's super easy to follow live. You don't need I don't feel like I need the announcers. So good. All right. Anyway, that's football. That's our sports talk.
And I gotta go home and get ready for some football.
All right. That is it. Nothing else of note has happened in the world or country since the last episode.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Everything is fine. Everything is great.
We're all fine here now.
Okay. So, having said that, let's do some news. And how could we start a new segment without some deaths?
Become our calling card.
Yeah, I know.
Who will be next? Tune into Gen X.
Well, a lot of So first up, we have rest in peace, a guy who's not a household name by any stretch, but everybody probably our age and up until a lot of people know. Elwood Edward died on November 5th. And he was the voice that said, "You've got mail.
You've got mail.
Files done. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
And goodbye." He lived in Glen Burnie, Maryland. He recorded all those in his living room on a cassette deck. So
it's amazing because I never knew I never knew the guy's name until I saw that he had passed away. So I was like, just imagine being that universally well known, but nobody knows who you are. That's got to be the life right there.
Yeah, and he did some other voice
Ironically,
acting work too, but he wasn't like a celebrity or anything. He was just. It's just funny that was the voice that they went with for that.
He sounds more like a computer than the modern day Alexas.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if I don't know if that's what he was going for. Like, I don't know.
It was probably just what they were able to facsimilate when recording and then doing it in the early digital age, I should say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You've got mail. Pattern baldness.
Yeah. That is not Elwood Edwards. And then I feel terrible, but there's only so many hours in the day for me to get these notes. So I have R.I.P. Quincy Jones, and obviously, dude. I mean, honestly, there's just too much. Like I started like doing a deep dive.
There's way too much.
It's just too much. And like Dutch, you could probably speak to it more than me. I mean, obviously, we talked about him when we did the We Are the World episode. He produced all Michael Jackson's stuff,
Thriller, freaking stuff. Like, oh my god, dude, just so vast, and it goes back so far. And he was a film composer in his own right. He was, I think, the first guy
27 films. I think I saw that, or soundtracks that I think I saw.
Yeah, I think he might have been the first guy to score a Spielberg movie.
Really?
Outside of John Williams. Yeah, because he did The Color Purple in the 80s.
Okay. I didn't know that, so that's some good Gen X knowledge you're dropping right there.
I believe so. I think because I'm trying to think. I think Williams, because I'm trying to think of like Spielberg's back catalog in my head, and just because like Williams did Sugarland Express. I feel like there was one before.
The Color Purple. Oh, that was Purple Rain.
Yes. Tough crowd tonight.
I got jokes. And then another really sad one. I don't know, man. Can we quantify levels of sadness? But Tony Todd, best known as Candyman.
That sucked.
The Candyman.
He was the lead in the remake of Night of the Living Dead from 1990. He was in The Crow. He was in a bunch of Final Destination movies. He was in The Rock.
So much, dude. He had his death scene in The Rock was the fucking best.
Yeah, he's the Rocket Man.
Yep. You're the Rocket Man. It's you.
You're the guy in The Rock that says, "I take pleasure in gutting you."
No.
Oh no! Wait.
No, that's the two guys on the rooftop. It's not him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched The Rock in a long. That movie.
Oh god, so funny.
That movie rocks. No pun intended. But
yeah, Nicolas Cage repeating that in the jail cell is hilarious. I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
He had a clause in his contract for Candyman that for every time he got stung, he got $1,000.
Nice.
He got stung 3 times.
Only 23 times for like what looked like 1,000 bees.
Yeah, because they were like bees coming out of his mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Quinn, he has playing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and for Trek fans, like.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. He was Kern, Worf's brother.
Worf's
Next
brother.
Generation. And I believe Kern was on DS9, but he also on DS9 played the older Jake Sisko.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I
remember that. Now that you say that, I remember that. Yeah.
Like voice work, he was Darkseid more recently in the DC animated universe.
He had a great voice too.
Here's something you probably didn't know. I scored a short film that he was in.
Really?
No, really?
Yeah, called IMTK by Pete Schuerman back in I think 2017 or 18. He directed it, had him out there. He said he was a really nice guy. I'm like I bumped into him at the Chiller bar one time, and he was really nice. This was before I had a cell phone with a digital camera on it, and that's cool. That's something I can at least say. Like I got to score a movie with Tony Todd in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, but that shows how much of a nerd I am. That most of the world goes Candyman. I'm like, oh, Commander Kern.
Yeah, he was.
Well, I mean, for me, it was Candyman was like
different. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because like Candyman is my favorite horror movie of the '90s. And it's one of my favorites, like period. Mm-hmm. So Yeah, I mean, I know him first and foremost as the Candyman, as most people do. But yeah, then I think of Star Trek, and there's countless things it's hard to if you come up with it on the spot, like you're trying to quantify. The guy had like hundreds upon hundreds of credits.
Yeah,
yeah, his IMDb's pretty impressive. But he was in 3 different series of Star Trek as different characters. So he was Kern, like you said, and then he was Jake Sisko, and then in Voyager.
Oh shit, you're right.
And I don't know who this is, but his name as an Alpha Hydrogen, a race of intergalactic big game hunters. So,
okay. Yeah, they were masked, so you couldn't really tell what they are. But.
Well, and like David Warner was the same thing. Like, how many different characters in Trek did he play?
Yeah, a ton.
Yeah. And then one last RIP to Freevee, which was the free streaming channel owned by Amazon. They are closing it down and putting all of the content on Amazon Prime.
It's not free no more, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's not free no more. And it was kind of like a Tubi type of channel. It had commercials and everything, but I mean, it was still I like those types of channels.
Dude,
sometimes you find weird. Yeah, sometimes you find weird stuff on those channels too that you don't find.
Actually,
and
speaking of scoring in Tubi, the most recent film that I had a part in scoring is actually dropping on Tubi in 10 days. Worst Laid Plans.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's Worst Laid Plans. It's a horror anthology film, and it's 3 segments. I scored the John Hale's segment Deep in the Heart, which is the first one in the movie. So that was a lot of fun. He and I took that to the New York Horror Film Festival, I think almost 2 years ago. Damn. So yeah. Anyway, had to get that little plug in.
No, yeah, cool. That's awesome. And that's thankfully it for RIPs.
For now. Watch out, everyone.
Yeah, I know. Somebody will. So then we have real news. God, man, I sound like an insensitive prick. Now we have.
Well, you are.
Now we have not sad news. Andor season 5 has a release date, April of 2025.
Season 5?
Season 5.
Andor season 2 has a release date of April of 2025. Anyway, I'm excited. I love that show. I know you guys weren't as high on it as I was, but I'm pretty.
I did enjoy it.
I liked it. I mean, I think you definitely oversold it. I think what drew you to it was the lack of Jedi. I mean, we've had those conversations.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It was like a Dirty Dozen type, which is fine. I just thought on the surface it was just a little boring. I did love the episodes in the prison with Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
it was like a different show. I really enjoyed that. But the rest of it, I mean, I thought it was fine. I liked, was it Stellan Skarsgård? Am I getting that right? He was in that.
Yeah. He's probably a Jedi, but it's not revealed that he is or anything so far. But I like it because you could take it out of the Star Wars universe and you could set it on Earth in 1930 in Germany or France, and it would completely fit like that. You know, maybe not 1937, but you could set it in the middle of World War II in France, and it would and everything would fit except for obviously the sci-fi stuff. But the overall what it's about is what I really liked about it.
But I'm not sure I cared about the character, and it's the guy from Rogue One, right? The character from Rogue One.
Yeah, I love that dude and everything. So
and knowing his character's fate kind of created some distance. So yeah, I mean, it was fine. I don't want to shit on it because it was a pretty good show. I just didn't love it like you did.
Yeah. And then Bolo sent us this news. Denzel Washington has said that he's going to be joining the MCU in the 3rd Black Panther movie, which I guess are they Black Panther movies still at this point, or are they just Wakanda movies? I guess there is a new Black Panther. So
I was gonna say, didn't Shuri take over the
so
the Black Panther persona?
That's cool. I hope they don't make him a bad guy and kill him, which is probably what they'll do.
I hope they make him a bad guy and keep him. That's
what I mean. If he's a bad guy, that's fine. They tend to get really cool characters to play bad guys and then kill them after the first movie.
Yeah,
so I hope they at least like let him be in a do something more with him.
That news came from Washington himself, right? He was in a talk show and just kind of offhand mentioned it.
Yeah, he was talking about upcoming stuff because he said he said he was. It sounded like he was going to do like 4 or 5 more movies and retire. I don't know how accurate that is, but I mean,
But I wonder if the Marvel folks were upset about that. You know how they get.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know.
Because apparently he also dropped that Ryan Coogler is directing it, which Marvel hadn't announced either.
Yeah, true. And then we got some really good news for me and Dutch anyway. Godzilla -1. See, not a surprise to anybody, but Godzilla -1 is getting a sequel.
Yeah!
And directed by the same director whose name I don't want to mangle right now. So,
Takashi Yamazaki.
That's him, Takashi Yamazaki. Pretty excited about that. What do you think, Dutch?
I mean, I guess we assume it's going to be a sequel. Do we know that for certain?
No, I mean, well, they didn't say sequel, right? They said the follow-up.
Yeah, so I mean, but if it is a sequel to Godzilla -1, I really hope Toho kind of lets him get really on the horrific side with it and like explore like the after effects of Godzilla. You know, like you saw like almost like that branding on why is her name? Why is her name
Noriko?
The female lead.
Noriko.
Yeah. On her neck. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I hope they do something with that and kind of explore like the effects of that. That would be cool. We haven't really seen anything hardcore like that before. So
yeah. I think there's a bunch of different ways.
Do you think they'll do it? Do you think they'll do another monster? Or do you think it'll be the first time in a Godzilla sequel that we just see Godzilla alone again?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what more you can do with the story with one monster in it. Like that's the whole conundrum with these movies, right? Because you can make a really serious movie with Godzilla in it, but that wouldn't work. You could never do, how many Godzilla movies have there been now? Like 30 odd Godzilla movies, right? I mean, if they had just immediately gone to the sequel to the original Godzilla and it had just been another Godzilla movie with just Godzilla in it, I mean, I don't think there would be. I mean, like King Kong, and then they did Son of Kong, and then King Kong and that was it for King Kong. And I mean, there's only so many stories you can tell where it's just one monster. And then if you're going to add a monster, then you almost have to get into like the fantastical side of things.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you're going to stick to like you said about Godzilla raids again, well, I mean, Angulos he had no like special powers. It was just that was like a brute force fight between two like animals essentially. So I could see like sticking close to that. I guess the question is like, do you make your own kaiju or do you do a version of Angulos? Maybe bring it back. I don't know.
I was just going to ask you guys, as the non-Godzilla fan of the group, when is the last time Toho introduced a new character that stuck?
You know
what I mean? What would
has it just been a one-off?
Well, I mean, it's not forgettable. That has like a following that fans appreciate as a good addition.
I was gonna say the Heisei series has like pretty much Destroyer and Space Godzilla seem very, very popular. So
Biollante. They've introduced other monsters, but none of them have ever been in more than one movie.
The repeat ones are always the classic ones.
You always have the core Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
I have no interest in seeing any of those three monsters in.
No, but I was going to say, dude,
-1.
Biollante could be such a great concept to re-explore because, you could do so much with like that creature being a part of like the landscape and stuff like that. So,
well, how would you feel about one of those monsters in their own movie? Like a Mothra -1.
Well, I mean, Mothra has been in her own movies before.
Yeah, Mothra had a trilogy of movies.
No, I mean in the new
Mothra's original movie's great, but
as far as this follow-up to kind of build this
like a new Mothra movie, if it's done right, could be good. But the original Mothra is like a fantasy movie, more than a giant monster movie. So and the original Rodan is this.
I was going to say that's
pretty cool movie, and there's like it starts out the first 45 minutes or so of that movie, these miners are being horribly mutilated in the mines, and you find out it's these giant bugs that are killing them, and then Rodan hatches and he eats the bugs and takes over as the second part of the movie. But so I mean something like that would be cool, but I almost wish they would just do a sequel. Just don't do a direct sequel, just do a sequel that's set. Like I think it'd be cool if they just did a series of movies that are set in different decades. Like that one was set in 1947, set one in like 1956, set one in 1965. You know what I mean? And like change the different time frames and change the monsters. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. That guy, I mean, he made an unbelievable movie. I have faith that it'll be something cool. He said he likes the Smog monster a lot, so I would love to see.
Yes, and that became clickbait of Takashi Yamazaki wants to remake Godzilla versus the Smog monster. It's not what he said.
Yeah. No, it's not. But I would be down for that. 100%. Maybe not a remake, but
see now here's a question, because I could definitely see, because if it's going to be a sequel to -1, I guess it's assuming that it's that Godzilla regenerating, right?
Yeah,
like we saw at the end of the movie. You have to imagine that like he's not going to regenerate perfectly into that design again. Like there's going to be like some shit that's fucked up about it.
They have to sell new figures and collectibles to change the T-shirts.
There you go. But I mean, we saw that in Godzilla -1. Every time he was damaged and he healed, he didn't heal perfect. So it's like, what does a Godzilla that has to regenerate from scratch look like? I mean, he could be fucked up, dude.
Yeah. And the other thing would be, I think they'd have to nerf him if he's going to fight another monster. Like his attack can't create a nuclear explosion.
Yeah, the fight's over.
Yeah,
again, but unless you have a Rodan that can fly and evade it, you know what I mean? So that
something like that maybe.
Like the amount of destruction of Godzilla like deploys his weapon more than 3 times, just trying to kill this mutated pterodactyl that he can't get to.
Yeah, something like that maybe. I don't know. I'm hopeful. I mean, I hope they don't give him, a 6-month time to make it. I hope they give him time. I hope they give him a budget and let him do what he wants to do.
Well, it's coming out next year, right?
Of course it is. It's Toho.
So no to any of those. All of those.
It's not coming out in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wanted to come out in November or December of next year.
Yeah, a couple of years.
-1. Yeah.
There are riflemen in the writer's room as we speak.
Gap from when they announced the new Godzilla movie to Godzilla -1. I mean, we didn't even know anything about. I remember we were talking about it, not on this, but just in general. And like, dude, now it was like, isn't this movie supposed to be coming out like this year? And there hasn't been like
a trailer,
an image, a trailer, a plot synopsis, like literally nothing. Which made me think like this movie's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah, it was reasonable to think that, and thank God we were wrong.
Yeah.
Because that was just like one of the best things ever. Like that was awesome.
Yeah. Going into that movie, only having seen the trailer, I didn't read any plot, I didn't read anything, and just going to that movie and being that like happy and like surprised by how good it was. It's so awesome. And when it works out like that, man, because so many times it is not what you want. So it was
crushing disappointment.
Yeah, Brian, you're becoming digitized.
I know, man. Right here. All right, and our last bit of news is Mattel's Wicked movie dolls mistakenly lists a porn site on the packaging.
AI, good job.
Yeah, this is from Variety.
That's amazing.
The film's official website is wickedmovie.com. But the address listed on the plastic packaging for the special edition dolls created in partnership with Universal Pictures is written as wicked.com. And I wouldn't know, but That's not the site you want your kids to go on. So I'm sure if you have one of those, that'll probably be a collector's item. So just keep that in the box and stick that somewhere safe. And then
It'd be great if it was Wizard of Oz themed porn.
I'm curious. What are these? I'm going to see if any of these are on eBay right now.
Yeah, because they're pulling them from the shelf. But if you have one, keep it in the box and stick that thing on eBay in 10 years. And
dude, the whole quality control department needs to be fired. If
someone will buy it, I have no doubt about it.
Let's see. Filter sold completed items.
What? I feel like it's too soon.
Oh, it's never too soon. In fact, all right, here we go. $85, $55, $99, $90, $99.99, $114.99, $59.17, $94.69, $99.99. So looks like the top on that one thus far. Oh, there it is. $119.99 looks like it's the highest that I've seen it go. I'm seeing right here just on like recent listings.
Jeez.
So funny.
So what a wicked game to play.
All right. So that is news. And I actually have another huge if true. I don't know if this is on par with the dog man from last episode, but
yes,
I really do need it. I need a huge if true. I need some kind of intro thing for it. I don't know. But this is just titled "Let This Sink In." Here we go. Mm-hmm. Pork is the worst thing, not worst, by the way, worst thing you can eat. The cow and the pig are not even natural animals. Tell me where in nature you can find a cow. If I wanted to see a gorilla, I'd go to the jungle. If I wanted to see a polar bear, I'd go to the Arctic. Where in nature is a cow? A farm is man-made, and cows and pigs are hybridized animals. A pig is crossbred between a muskrat, bobcat, and hyena. And I'm eating muskrat. Just let that sink in. So,
I guess they never heard of wild boars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would we be without these free thinkers?
Or bulls. Yeah.
Doing their own research, guys. Come on.
Yeah. You got to do your own research. That's why we got into this mess.
I guess so. Concepts of domestication over many, many years are lost on these people.
That's correct. So that's our huge if true for this episode.
I just picture that guy driving past like a field full of cows, and instead of mooing like the rest of us, just making up all these conspiracy theories. I've never seen one of these in the wild.
Wait, do you seriously moo when you drive past a field of cows?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I guess I'm usually like, damn, that smells like shit.
All right. Oh, guys, do you hear that? Hang on, I hear something.
Sorry, man. Sorry,
that sinister laugh. Chris Jones has joined the chat.
How you doing, Bolo?
I'm doing good, man.
How was Center City?
Center City.
Never mind. You'll hear it when you listen to the beginning of the episode.
Oh boy.
Oh, my camera died. I need a new camera so bad. Oh my god.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
we noticed. We just didn't tell you.
Yeah, no, I knew too. It's there's a loose wire connection in there. I could probably take it to work and try to solder it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Love the hand.
Man, you are.
I know, because I'm so handy man. Hi, Bolo.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm cool in the gang, man. Glad to be home finally. Physical
Glad you're
therapy
with
took
us, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Physical therapy took a little bit longer than I anticipated, and it's pretty much in the heart of Middletown, so that's kind of a pain to get back through.
Yeah,
it's traffic is slow going or what have you. But
yeah,
finally back home.
I hear you.
With a taste.
Well, you're just in time. We're ready to do trailers. So,
outstanding.
Here we go.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
All right. So we got 2 Marvel trailers, both of which look really good. The first one is Captain America. That's a big motherfucking Birdman. And that looks really good. Captain America. What's it actually called?
Brave New World.
Brave New World. Yeah. New trailer for that has come out. I think it looks great. I think it looks really good. I was like kind of meh about the first trailer, and this trailer looks so good.
I think the trailer's well done, but I'm worried about the movie.
Yeah, I mean the reshoots and stuff that they've been doing, but
I'm just
that
tired
trailer
of
in and of itself is very promising.
I was gonna say, I'm just tired of seeing Hulk characters and not a Hulk movie.
Well, they can't do a Hulk movie, unfortunately, because it's something with Universal owning the rights to us.
I thought they got the rights back for some reason.
Nah, they can only do a Hulk as a part of an ensemble of characters.
So what do you guys think of Red Hulk, the obviously Harrison Forded Red Hulk?
I'm of two minds. I'm excited to see it on screen, and I'm embarrassed for Harrison Ford. So that's where I am with it.
Well, there's definitely a lot of Harrison Ford in that Hulk, more so than any other actor that's been a Hulk. You know,
I was gonna say that might look more like Harrison Ford than Ruffalo's Hulk looks like Ruffalo.
Yeah,
Ruffalo's Hulk looks like Ruffalo.
Right, but
it really does.
A distinct difference. But this is definitely Harrison Ford, with no question. Yeah. But I mean, I'm going to see this movie, and I'm a fan of these characters. So I mean, I'm in from the word go.
He said he really enjoyed doing it, and it sounds like he's like open to doing more. So
yeah, one of my favorite quotes though is by Anthony Mackie, where he said Harrison Ford put him all at ease, upset when he was like, "All right, let's go shoot this piece of shit."
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. I hope it is, at least. Because contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't think many of us want Marvel movies to fail. We're just kind of like, it's been a little lately. So, but hey, come on, let's cheer them to get back on their feet. Deadpool and Wolverine was great.
Yeah, I think it looks good, and then I think the other trailer we got, Thunderbolts, looks. I think that looks really good. I like that looks just fun, and I'm really excited.
Definitely warming up to that one for sure.
Yeah, I love the trailer really for that one. Yeah,
I'm definitely excited about the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, fantastic.
It's got some underused characters in there that I think are going to get a chance to shine. I'm not crazy about the Red Guardian character. I think he's like oafish. I mean, on purpose. Yeah. I just don't think it's overly funny. But I love Yelena. I love Bucky.
Yeah, I thought Bucky gets to be a badass too, which makes me so happy.
Yes, and John Walker, the fake Captain America. I really liked him in that Falcon and Winter Soldier series. So, played by Kurt Russell's kid. So I'm excited to see him.
He hopefully has a name,
Yeah, something Wyatt. Yeah.
Played by Kurt Russell.
Is he named after Wyatt Earp, I wonder?
I would imagine.
Yes.
Has to be. Definitely has to be.
Not like his dad played Wyatt Earp or anything like that.
Yeah.
He has a name, like he's going to be offended if he hears this podcast.
For all you know, he could be like one of our biggest listeners.
He is. I know.
That would be great.
He's going to send us a signed picture of himself. He's just going to sign it Kurt Russell's kid. to Gen X Lounge from your biggest fan, Kurt Russell's kid.
He asked his dad, why do they hate George Clooney so much?
Oh, fuck that guy. And then did you guys watch, I think this trailer just came out today or yesterday, The Skeleton Crew, that Star Wars Disney Plus show that's coming out in December.
Is that the one with the kids in it?
Yeah, it just looks straight up like the Goonies, but in Star Wars world, like in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, looks cute. I mean, Star Trek has an almost identical show.
Lower Decks.
Oh, really?
No, called Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh, duh. That's what I meant. I'm sorry, dude.
It's an animated show where a bunch of kids get themselves a starship and are having adventures.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, it looks cute.
Yeah, I think it looks good. It's something different for that world for a change. So that's fun.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have Mission Impossible 8, which
Final Reckoning
seems to, I thought that was going to come out way sooner. Has that been like?
It's been a while.
Was that say? Didn't Dead Reckoning Part 2 only come out like 2 years ago?
No, it was Dead Reckoning Part 1, but then they retconned it, or they changed the title to just Dead Reckoning.
Oh,
so
right.
there is no Dead Reckoning. This movie would be Part 2, but they've changed the name.
Okay, so
because I guess Dead Reckoning Part 1 didn't do that well. So I guess they're hoping that this doesn't.
Didn't that not come out last year, the year before?
The year before.
Okay. So that's a 2-year gap, 3-year gap, whatever.
Yeah. So they filmed that during the COVID year, I think. Like, isn't that where the audio of Tom Cruise yelling at everybody came from?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's a good one. The audio of Christian Bale going off is by far.
I was just going to bring that up.
Awesome.
I was just going to bring that up.
Terminator set. Yeah.
I want you off the fucking set, you prick.
Yeah. Oh God, he fucking loses his mind. It's crazy how nuts he goes for that guy.
Do you remember?
Good for you.
Do you remember the Family Guy skit where they used that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's yelling at Peter Griffin. He's like, yeah, peanut rolled across and I just wanted to pick it up. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know what the coolest part about the whole thing though? I don't know if you know this, Brian and guys. I think Christian Bale called into like either Stern or Opie and Anthony or something, like right after that happened. They were talking about it and he actually called in on the air. And was talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, I was acting like a punk. We got along fine. Everything was fine after that." And he just like completely owned up to it and was like so fucking cool about it.
That's
I
awesome.
wasn't roided out of my mind.
Nah.
Thor: Love and Thunder was on TV the other day, and I just caught a little clip of it because I don't like that movie, but he's so good in it. You know what I mean? It's such a wasted performance.
Yeah. That guy's never done a bad role. He's been in like maybe some movies that aren't the best, but he's awesome in everything.
I'll watch Ford versus Ferrari every time it's on. I love that movie.
That movie's fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that movie's phenomenal.
What do you guys think of American Hustle?
I love that movie. I saw
It's a good movie.
Yeah. He's very good. He gained weight for the role. It's funny to see him go from Jack to, pot belly like a normal human being.
What about The Machinist, where he's like he's like 90 pounds? Yeah.
I've never seen that. I've just seen the photos of him. Yeah.
That movie's awesome, man. It's really good.
He came off of that movie and had to put on muscle to be Batman next.
To be Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, he put on so much muscle that he had to go and lose some muscle.
Yeah.
Because the suit didn't fit him properly. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny when you go back, if you go back and watch Batman Begins, you could see the weight in his face in some of those cowl shots. He's busting out of the headpiece.
Yeah.
Yep. And then all of a sudden it fits real nice in another film. You know what I mean?
Human growth hormone.
I mean, there's scenes in that when he is like legitimately just jacked to the freaking gills.
Yeah. He got huge.
All right. That's it for trailers. Let's we got to talk a little bit about Penguin, but also whatever else we've been doing.
And now, our feature presentation.
We'll all finish the Penguin. We'll talk about that one in a second. But anybody else watching, see anything, read anything, playing anything interesting?
I'm pretty far into Agatha. I think I'm on episode 6 or 7.
Okay.
At this point, Agatha all along.
8 or 9 total, right? So you're almost done then.
Yeah. Just had one big reveal. I don't know if everybody's watched it.
I'm not watching it. I haven't watched it yet.
I think I suspect who Aubrey Plaza's character is. They kind of make she has like a lingering secret through there. I think I figured it out. We'll see if I'm right when it comes down to it. But
you probably have. It's pretty. I feel like it's pretty telegraphed.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
So she's really good in it.
I hope she comes back later on as that character again because she's great.
The show itself is really fun.
I like it a lot.
It's in a lot of ways. It's kind of like it's very much like WandaVision, where you think it's one thing and then it turns into a couple other things, or it has an episode that's completely different. So I'm digging that. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would when they announced the series.
Yeah, it's good, and it's not like a superhero show.
No,
like it's a comic book show, but it's not a, and the stakes aren't anything, ridiculous, and it's not, nothing's going to end the world or blow up the earth or, do anything. It's just a self-contained, really well done story. And it's got like a little bit of horror elements and it's got like fantasy elements. It also has really like comic book superhero stuff in it.
It also has like fresh new characters with their own backgrounds and stuff that it's its own thing.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously setting up one character for future use movie forward probably, but I mean I feel like everybody else in that show, other than maybe Aubrey Plaza's character, would be, if you never saw any of them again, it would be fine.
Right.
Other than the teen and Aubrey Plaza.
Right.
And obviously the teen will probably have a bigger part to play later on in the MCU as a whole, I would assume. But it doesn't feel like the show was made to, like, we need to bring this character in, so let's shoehorn him into this show.
It doesn't feel like a commercialized story for a purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's perfectly self-contained and it's fine. Yep. And you'll see at the end, I mean, there's no, it ends and it's fine. And there's not a cliffhanger and it's not, well, maybe there'll be a season 2 or wait till you see him in, the first Avengers movie, the next Avengers movie that's coming out. It's all
Catherine Hahn is hilarious.
Agatha will return in the Avengers Secret Wars.
And I'd be fine if Agatha returns, but I mean, I don't think she will, and I don't think she needs to, so.
Right.
And it's good. So that's good. How about you guys? Any other stuff, Dutch or Bolo?
Now that I got all caught up with the Penguin, I'm about to probably this coming weekend binge Superman and Lois and get caught up on that because I've been way behind on that. And that's how I've been busy, because if I didn't make time for that show, if I couldn't make time for that show, man, it's like I've had stuff already get spoiled from that, so I'm just like, all right, I got to get caught up on that.
Yeah. I like to revisit Superman and Lois. I think I lost track of that show. Currently, the other thing I'm watching is Lioness, that has Morgan Freeman, Zoe Saldana, Nicole Kidman. It's a fantastic show.
Seen a trailer for that.
It's called Lioness.
I said I've seen a trailer for that. That's on what, Paramount? What's
Paramount.
that on?
It's on Paramount. Very good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it is good. So there's 2 seasons, and season 2, it's week after week. Every Sunday they drop a new episode. So there are 4 episodes in on season 2.
Okay.
I definitely recommend that if you like Zoe Saldana being in her normal skin color. And the other thing is she's naked in this show, so it's pretty awesome. Yes.
What about Morgan Freeman? Does he get naked?
Yeah. He does not get naked. And I'm
Damn
really
it.
happy about that.
Come on.
Yeah, sorry.
How long do we have to wait?
One new scene before he dies. Jesus Christ, Morgan Freeman.
How long do you have to wait to see Morgan Freeman naked? I don't know how long you got to wait for that.
It's been 80 years.
I know. Fuck.
He's not hard up for the money.
Did we talk about Alien Romulus last episode?
I don't think so. I still haven't seen it. You did see it, right?
It's fucking good. I liked it a lot. I mean, a lot. Like way, way more than I anticipated I would like it. Dutch, you saw it as well, right?
I didn't see it yet, actually.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, it's really good. highly recommended. And then I also saw on Netflix, Woman of the Hour, which is, it's the Anna Kendrick's movie. She directed it.
Oh, yeah.
Stars in it. And it's
Denise watched that and liked it.
It's the true story. Well, it's a true story. I don't know if this retelling of it is how accurate it is, but it's about the girl who goes on the dating game and gets matched with a serial killer.
That sounds awesome.
And it's a true story, and he was a serial killer. But it's not a serial killer movie. It's really a movie. The best way to explain it would be it's a movie about how no one listens to women. And that's the best way I could think to describe it. And
that's awful.
and also, though, how women will do things in the moment to protect themselves, even if they don't want to do it. So it's really interesting from that perspective. I think as a woman, it would probably be more scary than it was to me as a guy, but I understood like what it was trying to say, but that's because I understand the plight of all human beings all over the world as a empathetic,
you do.
As an empathetic man that I am. But
very sensitive.
Yeah. No, but there's a scene where she's in a bar with the guy who lives next door to her. And it's obvious that he has a crush on her. And he's obviously a pain in the ass to her. Like, you get the vibe from prior to them going out to the bar together that he's just up her ass, and he obviously likes her, and she obviously does not like him, but she's polite to him. And they go to a bar.
Friend zone.
Yeah, and he tries to kiss her, and she's sort of like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he gets shitty with her, and he's like, "Well, do you just want to leave?" And she's like, "No, I guess we can stay." And then it just cuts to the next morning where she's waking up in bed next to him. And it's like,
something went horribly wrong.
Well, no, I mean, she's just like, I don't think it's as bad now. Like, but I do think, especially when this movie takes place, which is in the 70s, which like women were told, like,
she did it just to pacify him.
Yeah, by the adults in their lives, like, to be polite and to not make men mad, and like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't think people necessarily teach their daughters that now. I certainly, wouldn't teach my daughter that. But I mean, that definitely, I think, was probably even, women our age were taught that, like, don't make a guy mad if,
don't stand up for yourself.
Don't stand up for yourself. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the overall like gist of what it's trying to say. And it's told to the backdrop of this, serial killer story. And she did get set up on a date with a serial killer, and and a pretty bad one. I did a little deep dive on the guy after the.
I was going to say, is there any other kind?
Well, I mean, he's only confirmed to have killed like 7 people, but the authorities say he could have killed up to 150 people, women.
Wow.
I can say.
So is that scene that you just described to set up how vulnerable she is? You know what I mean in this situation?
Yeah. And I mean, she finally stands up for herself to him, in the parking lot. She's like, "I'm not going on a date with you."
Right.
He's very like threatening. It's a really tense moment. And she's like, starts walking to her car, and he starts walking, keeping pace with her. You know what I mean? It's very, very tense. Like, what the fuck's going to happen? And then thankfully, a guy comes out of the office building across the street and like starts smoking a cigarette or something, and backs off. You know what I mean? But if you look up this guy in real life, I mean, he's horrible. I mean, he brutally raped like an 8-year-old.
Oh,
and they let him out. This was before he was locked up for being a serial killer. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. As a guy, he was caught and let out, and then he murdered many women after the fact before they put him back in jail. So that's it's a good movie though. It's definitely worth watching. She's awesome in it. And then we all watched The Penguin. Let's talk about The Penguin. What y'all think of The Penguin? Well, let's not get into spoilers. We can do spoilers maybe at the end of the discussion. But I thought it was fucking great. Pretty much from start, every episode I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, there were no bad episodes. No wasted time. Every single one was really good. The second to last one, I guess, was the creepiest. I love how they keep reminding you that he's not a good guy, even though he's the protagonist of the series.
Yeah.
He's also a sociopath. He's also a villain, and they remind you of that. So they did on the whole, is really, really well done.
I loved it. My favorite episode was the standalone episode that showed her what she dealt with in Arkham, and just made you like, okay, I'm on her side. Like, I'm absolutely on her side 100%.
Yeah. Until yeah. I mean, she definitely goes into Arkham, not in any way, shape, or form how she comes out.
Right.
But by the end of the show, she's also not.
Can we say too much now without getting into spoilers? Maybe we should just give the spoiler alert.
Yeah, we should just do spoilers. Hang on, let me hang on. So what are we? We're 101. We're 102 into the episode. So I can note it in the notes so people don't have to. All right, so we're 102 into the episode where we start talking about spoilers. Okay, so spoiler talk, fuck it, who cares? We all liked it. Let's get to spoilers. So she goes into Arkham and she hasn't ever really done anything bad. I mean, she's obviously part of a crime family.
Right.
But then, you know, you can argue when she kills that woman in Arkham, that's
when she kills Magpie
or whatever it is. Yeah. That's maybe in some way, shape, or form self-defense. But then she comes out of Arkham and she's definitely not. I mean, because she didn't kill the little girl, I still don't think that makes her a good person. I mean, she kills everybody else. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
even in like
a lot of people.
Even in like Kristen Miliotti's performance, like that's the cool thing. Like when you get to see her pre-Arkham, she's so much like her character is just different. Everything she plays about her is like completely like bubbly and sort of like just like normal, and like she has that real awesome kind of crazy look in her eyes when she comes out, and like just she's awesome as a villain or as a somewhat of an antagonist, I guess.
Yeah, I love that.
Turns out like she's seen some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
but I love every dangerous conversation that she has the whole rest of the series. There's like an amusement in her eyes where it's like she can't wait to hear what they're going to say. You know what I mean? Even if they're insulting, like the worse it is for her, the more she seems to enjoy it. Like, oh, you're digging the hole deeper. Her performance, like, I can't wait for the Emmys this year. She's got to win.
Yeah,
she's got to be nominated. She's got to win. She's a revelation.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
I wonder if she's going to have a role in the Batman too.
I hope. I
think I'm glad they didn't kill her off, because it would have been a huge mistake to kill her off.
Well, I figured when Oz said to her, "You're going to hell," because like remember the Riddler said to Batman, "I'll see you in hell," and then it was Arkham.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's like right there. I was like, oh, he's sending her. He's going to get her sent back to Arkham.
But that's a great ending for her, because we start the episode. And I'm saying at the beginning, I really hope they don't kill her. I really hope they don't waste this character. But what a finale to see him in the tux. We were talking about that earlier in the chat. Just to see, there's that classic Batman villain.
We just need a monocle and an umbrella, man.
That's right. That's right. And it was tough. It was tough. I didn't need the scene with Vic.
Let's backtrack a little bit to the episode prior to the finale. So, because he, like you said, he's the protagonist of the show.
Yeah.
And the show had to do something, because like by the time that episode rolled around, you are pretty much 100% on his side. Like, he's a bad guy, you get it, but also everybody else is bad too. So it's fine.
And the amount of disrespect that they show him makes you instinctively feel for him.
But it needed to do something to make you hate him. And that's what what was that, episode 7? did. And it reminds me of The Sopranos. Every now and then, The Sopranos would have an episode where somebody would do something so fucking horrible. And David Chase has come out and said, like, the reason he would do that is because he would see people like being like, oh, I would love to get a beer with these guys, or I would love to hang out with Tony and his, and like, no, you would. These are fucking psychopaths. Gangsters. You know what I mean? Like, so
they kill people.
He talks about he talks about the episode called College, in The Sopranos, which is in season 1, where Tony takes his daughter to visit a college.
Oh, is that where he recognizes the informant dude?
Yeah, where she's going to apply to a college, and he's taking her to visit for the weekend, and he recognizes a mob informant in the town where the college is. And at the end of the episode, he strangles the guy to death with a wire. And HBO was like, we can't do this. This is the main character of the show. Like, we can't do this. And David Chase was like, David Chase was like, you have to do it, because if you don't do it, people are going to get the wrong idea. Like, you're not supposed to root for these people. So every now and then, like the episode where Ralph kills Tracy outside the Bing, like that's another episode where you're like, this dude is fucking disgusting. Like, so I'm glad it did it. And I'm glad at first when he locked his brothers in the sewer, I was like, well, he's just a dumb kid. He doesn't know.
No, he knew what he was drown.
Yeah.
But then it makes it very, very clear as the episode goes on that he's like well aware that they're going to die in there.
I think that's all you needed. I don't think you needed to do. I don't know, like that. I'll wait till you get there, Brian. You lead the way. I don't want to go there.
I mean, I don't know, because again, by the end of the last episode, I mean, he's pretty much an irredeemable piece of shit by the end of the last episode. Anyway, I mean, obviously his mom knew that he killed his brothers. I also like the flashback, how when it did his mom's flashback, it didn't go back to the younger version of his mom. It was like her as her older self in the flashback.
Well, let's take a second though and appreciate the performances in the real flashback episode of the young mom and
she was awesome.
And the young penguin. They did such a great job.
That kid was perfect. Who played?
He was really good. Yeah.
Not only nailed the accent, but nailed the cadence that Colin Farrell talks with perfectly. But yeah, Brian, you're absolutely right. In the next one, when they do the flashback, it's the old mom as the stand-in. It's, you know what I mean? She doesn't change. It's still the little kid talking to her, but she's older now.
But
really well done.
Knew all along that he did it. Because in the flashback, the previous episode where she was the young mom, I think you were getting his version of how things went down with his mom. You know what I mean? Like, everything was great after my brothers died, and then we went out dancing, and then it shows it from her perspective, and like
she was going to have him whacked.
She was going to have him killed. Yeah. So I thought that was really
great shot of that great shot of the glass filling up with water that he keeps looking at. You know what I mean? And you just know what's happening. That's good filmmaking.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm glad they let her do that flashback, because she deserved to have her like big dramatic part. So that was cool. And then just the end though, like, well, first off, the scene where she's interrogating him with the mom, and she's going to cut off the mom's finger, and just her whole attitude in that scene, talking about Kristen Milioti's character, Sophia, is fucking great. Like how she knows the truth, but she's just kind of toying with him.
Yep.
It's so good. And it just shows what he was going to let her cut his mom's finger off. Like,
yes, he was.
Even after all of the stuff about how everything he was doing was for her, and then, she goes into, she's going to be a vegetable basically at the end. And he promised her if that were to happen, he would kill her. And instead he hooks her up to a bunch of machines and sticks her in the penthouse.
Yep.
And is like, see, this is everything you wanted. Isn't this great? Everything you wanted. And
that tear from her eye to let you know that she's a prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Devastating.
And then, his prostitute girlfriend, who I thought in earlier episodes that there was a weird resemblance to his mom.
Really?
And and lo and behold, he's basically using her as like a mommy surrogate, which is also fucked up.
Yeah,
and then
that's weird, man.
You get this heart-to-heart with Vic and him. And Vic, who's like just an innocent kid in the first episode, and he goes through all this stuff and he makes this choice to like not go off with his girlfriend to California and try to make a life. He decides to stay there with the Penguin and
repeatedly risks his life to save him.
Yeah, risks his life repeatedly, saves him repeatedly. Is like an invaluable, is like really the most invaluable person in the entire his entire
he keeps
journey.
him going when Penguin's about to quit. He gives him that inspirational speech.
And he tells him he's almost like family to him, and in response to that he gets strangled to death on a park bench by
literally the only time I could relate to him is when the word family triggers him.
Oh man.
that hurt to watch, and like
it was bad, and they did not pull away from it, and it went on for a while.
Like, and the way that he's struggling, the things he's saying, like please, it's too much, and then fucking Oz starts almost like he's like enjoying it. Like, I legit was like, my heart was pounding, dude. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is not fucking. You don't need to do this to that kid. You don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Tell you what, it reminded me very much of that scene in Saving Private Ryan where the one guy's getting stabbed slowly and begging for his life.
Yeah.
Where it's just to this day I can't watch that scene over.
Yeah, I usually don't watch that scene in Saving Private Ryan.
And that's what this reminded me of. I was like, oh, not only are they going to do this, they're going to do it this way. You know what I mean? The most horrible way possible.
He takes his money and then and the way, he throws his ID into the freaking pond or the lake or whatever, and it's two things. Like, you see it, like he's basically drowning his last brother, so to speak.
Yeah.
And also, do you remember earlier on in the season when he's like, "Kid, they're gonna remember our names. They're gonna know who we are." Him throwing away his ID basically is like, no,
nobody will know who he was. Yeah, nobody will ever know who that kid was. He's just another dead body in Gotham.
And I'm like, great job.
He
Batman.
does it so casually that you realize that he never gave a shit about him from the beginning. He's just used him.
Used him.
Yeah.
Took his money, threw the license away, and just left.
So, hey, go back. Well, if you can stomach to go back and rewatch it, you don't even have to rewatch the whole scene, but watch it.
I don't ever want to watch that
it
scene
when Vic says all the stuff he says.
Yeah.
And then right before Oz starts strangling him, he says "fuck," and then he says it again. But the first time he says "fuck," he says it not in the penguin-y voice that he has. It's almost like this resigned, like he's got to kill this. Like he's like,
oh, now I got to kill him.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then he's kind of like, "Fucking A, kid," you know what I mean. He puts his arm around him.
Yeah.
So it's like he knew at that moment. That's the only time that he's like, you feel that there's any like sympathy in his voice. So
well, yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. As opposed to what I just said. He realizes that he does care for him, and that's why he's killing him. So he doesn't have a vulnerability out there.
That was my first thought when he was killing him. I was like, he's going to kill him so he doesn't have anybody close to him anymore. And then I was also like, but also this kid also saw him crying in front of his mom, like begging for his mom to, tell him she was proud of him. Like he's seen all of it. So of course he's going to fucking kill him. And also like he doesn't fucking care about anything.
Right.
He just cares about himself. So,
yeah, I mean, you could have put a bullet in the kids. Like, why? Like, to do it in like that brutal, like hurtful way is just like that. Like ranks. That's like up there on level with like the shoe getting killed in Roger Rabbit. Like as far as trauma level. Dude, like seriously.
But as a fan of the Batman comics and the animated series and everything. One of the hallmarks of the Penguin is like Batman beats the shit out of him all the time, and it never seems to have an impact on him. You know what I mean? And when you watch this show, how many times did he get captured and tortured and, seem like he's out of it and a weasel and nothing and pathetic? and then he always rises back up to the top. So it was actually a really good setup for how the Penguin is. You know what I mean? In the Batman world, even though Batman doesn't really factor into this series at all, and we can talk about that.
Well, it's funny you mention that because evidently there's a thing on Twitter where like people are being like really stupid and insufferable, where they're like, if you have that valid criticism that like, and I don't think anybody was like mad that we didn't see Batman show up. That's fine, but like nobody even mentions like that this dude exists in the whole episode.
Yeah, I would have liked at least a couple of throwaway lines. Somebody like, oh, you got to be careful because the bat or something.
And I'm like, okay, so their whole thing was like, this takes place in the Gotham City underworld. Okay, that's fine. Like Batman said in the movie, he's like, the city's a big place. I can't be everywhere at once. All right, fair enough. Yeah. When a fucking bomb goes off that takes out like,
well, to be fair,
square blocks. I mean, I'm just saying, after bombs just went off and flooded the city, you think Batman would be on that like that?
Yeah, I think to be fair with that aspect of it, though, from the time the bomb went off at the end of the second to last episode to the end of the next episode and the finale of the show, I mean, couldn't have been more than like a day or two. I feel
true.
Like I actually almost wonder how long the show, like in real time, was supposed.
Well, it starts a week after the Batman. And then you can see there's a time jump. It jumps to the winter.
There is a time jump in between one of the pairs of episodes, and I can't remember which one. But there definitely is a time.
I think it was. Wasn't that when he got his drug empire like set up underground?
Yes, that's the. Yeah, it cuts from when he finds the tunnel. When he shows Vic the tunnels, next episode they're completely set up, which would lead me to assume there's and they have 8 million mushrooms growing. So that would lead me to think that there's at least a month or two time jump there.
Well, the show, if we're going in real time, the Riddler's bombs went off on Election Day, November 5th, like they all went off here. And freaking, so that show's basically taking place like right now in our time, like real time, like in this time in November. So I guess you could say like maybe the show jumps forward to like December, like late December or January. I don't recall seeing much Christmas imagery unless I missed it.
No, yeah. I mean, I think at most the show takes place over like 3 months, probably.
Yeah.
And if 2 months of that are him setting up his underground lair, in real time, like the amount of, of all the crimes and things taking place, you're thinking maybe it's like a couple of weeks worth of.
Well, I still think that when he met with the families, all the different gangs.
Yeah,
you could have he could have easily thrown in a mention like, we got it covered. He's on the other side of town or something like that.
That makes sense. That would definitely make sense.
Yeah. But
I mean, you did get the bat symbol at the very end, the bat signal at the very end. So there's that.
You know what's funny is Denise called that like right before it happened. She was as it's fading away, she goes bat signal, and then boom, it went up. I was like, oh yeah, shit.
That's awesome.
So
I mean, all in all, man, I was like, I guess I'll watch it when it first started, and I'm shocked how much I liked it. It was really, really good. So
it makes me excited for the next Batman movie in a way that the first Batman movie did not leave me. Like I've tried to watch the Batman movie again, and I like it better now having watched the Penguin. I still don't love it. It's long. It's way too long.
I love it. Oh man, I love it.
And here's the thing: it's only too long because we don't have the fully fleshed out Batman who's using gas bombs, to make an appearance. It's a long walk into a room. There's a lot of that.
Sometimes you can hear his boots coming. Sometimes he's got ninja feet.
Exactly.
Why? No rhyme or reason.
And what's great is we see towards the end of the movie where he's using smoke as a weapon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or for his arsenal to attack all those Riddlers, which is a fantastic sequence in itself.
It's still, I don't know how rewatchable that movie is, but we did get a Selena Kyle name drop at the end of the Penguin.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, it says from your Sophia gets a letter from her half sister, which I had completely forgotten about.
Yeah. I was going to mention that. Thank you for reminding me because, well, number one, you're talking to the wrong guy because the Batman I saw 5 times in the theaters, including the most recent re-release, and I love that movie. That was, I think, my biggest legitimate complaint, even more so than Batman was. I wish that he hadn't just walked in and been like, "Here, this is from Selena Kyle. She says it's your half sister." It would have been so great because when she's reading the letter, they play Selena Kyle's theme from the movie. So it would have been so cool if he just handed her the letter and we, the audience, just had to infer that. But if you look, the clue's right there as to who was writing to her. But I said that too. I'm like, well, so she's Selena Kyle's half sister. How are they going to? This would be cool if they tie something together with that. See, I expected Sophia Falcone to actually maybe know about that somehow, but makes sense the way that they did it.
Yeah, I had no clue.
I thought it was cool.
I had forgotten. But what's in that letter? You know what I mean? Because that certainly implies that Sophia's not done.
Yeah,
in that universe.
Not. Yeah, I would think not. Even if she's in Arkham in the second movie, and Batman just needs to go talk to her about.
Yeah. About how many times are we going to see Batman talking to somebody at Arkham?
Well, tell you what, when she's in her mansion about to burn it down, she is moving. She is moving like a Batman villain. If you, so awesome. the way she is burning that down is very.
When she has the 3 cigarettes in her mouth.
Yeah,
and it's just spraying the alcohol all over. It's so great.
Yeah. It's like a low-key version of the Joker in the art museum in the 89 back. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just the way she's moving. So, I really hope they bring that character back. She was awesome. Yeah, she's apparently a huge fan of the Batman series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. She did an ASMR video a couple of weeks ago.
I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. All right. Spoilers are done. It is 123. All right. So 120. So 102 to 123 is the spoiler talk. All right. So yeah, Penguin, good. I would give that a straight 9 out of 10 Van Helsings. Dutch.
Oh.
I'm going 9. I think 9. Excuse me. 9 out of 10 Van Helsings is yeah. I'll go with that.
Bolo.
I'm gonna go with 10 out of 10. I loved it. It's in the Batman, and I'm a Batman fan, so it is. This is in my wheelhouse. It's a series that continued to get better and better with each episode. Thoroughly entertaining. Colin Farrell, what a champ for going through that makeup process for this series. So I appreciate him. So that's why it gets 10 Van Helsings out of 10.
Quinn.
Well, I'll save my 10 out of 10s for something that I consider like the best show ever. So I'll go with 9 out of 10. But I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. All right, cool. Let's go somewhere. Where we going?
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Oh, I didn't mention I went to TF.
Huh?
Yeah, say it, Brian. I don't know if it's Chris Jones moving around or we lost you for a second. Repeat that.
I said I went to TFCon in Baltimore. I forgot to mention that. Which is the Transformers convention.
All we heard was I went to TF, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was almost right.
Might have thought it was something else, but
yeah.
TF Con in Baltimore, which is the Transformers convention, and I brought Brandy, and that was her first ever nerd convention that she's ever been to, and so yeah, it was a full Saturday experience. I took her to the costume contest. That was something.
Chris Jones, what is happening?
Yeah,
sorry.
Bolo.
Guy, I swear to God. So anyway, yeah, that was fun. We can dive more into that one in a different episode, but it was fun. We had a good time. All right, now we're back in the day. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
This dude is like walking around his house, just like making his look at this guy.
It's like he's got a GoPro on.
I know. Yeah, really. What are you carrying around with you? Oh, I guess it's your phone, right?
Tablet.
All right. Back in the day. All right. So it's not a lot, but there's some. Back in the day. 11/10/1981. Motley Crue releases their debut album, Too Fast for Love. The first edition was 900 copies. It was released, like I said, November 10th, 1981, on the band's original label, which was Leather Records. And leather is spelled Leathu with an umlaut over top of it, R. So you know
that's so metal.
Badass. Yeah, that was badass. It received a wide release when Elektra Records signed the band the following year. When the album was remixed and partially re-recorded, it had a different track listing, slightly different artwork, and it hit the Billboard number 77 in the United States. It would ultimately reach platinum status, which was the first of seven. Well, no, their first 7 actual albums consecutively. All were certified gold or platinum. So that's cool. What else we got for back in the day? You guys remember that album? I don't really remember anything.
No, I was way too young for heavy metal in 81.
I was never, you know what? Even when I was into heavy metal in like the 80s and 90s and my life right now, like I was never into Motley Crue.
Nor was I.
No, I just thought they were. I don't know, man. I liked the songs off of Dr. Feelgood that like the videos were out for and stuff, but I was never like. I never owned any Motley Crue stuff. I didn't like hate them, but they just weren't. I don't know.
I feel the same way as you, Brian. Like they have some memorable tunes. Obviously, they're one of the most famous bands.
Oh, they have some great. I have some great songs.
But I was never like a big fan. Just like I was never a fan of kids.
Yeah, they were never for me. I don't know what it was about them. I don't know. I think they were almost too glammy for me.
That's funny that the three of us kind of have the same exact take, because I was never into them, but Kickstart My Heart rocks. You know what I mean? Dr. Feelgood's a great song.
Yeah, Kickstart My Heart's great. Like, Girls, Girls, Girls is great. Like, all of their singles are good. And like, if they like, I would probably just listen to their greatest hits though. But like, I would never and I would certainly never go like see them, especially now. Like, they're cool. God.
Well, have you seen online where they show them in concert now, but they put subtitles of what Vince Neil could be saying, and it's ridiculous.
It's just gibberish.
Like, it's like hamburger, double cheese, and all that other stuff.
He doesn't sing a good 75-80% of the lyrics. He just lets the audience sing most of it.
Yeah. And it's bad. Like they sound he in particular looks and sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same as you. Like I like some of their songs, just never really got into them.
Yeah, and I was always like that. I saw a video. I think it was just yesterday, the day before. It was Nikki Sixx, and it was like, here's the actual backstage audio of Nikki Sixx playing without his backing tracks, because they all play with straight up backing instrumental, and all you could hear was him. All you could hear was his sneakers scraping along the stage, and it wasn't playing anything. And he's like mouthing stuff, and it's just like a complete clown show. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, they don't even play their instruments at this point. Like, it's just crazy to me.
Tommy Lee can still play drums.
Yeah, no? I don't think he does. I don't think he does when they play live anymore. So yeah, I don't know, but so good on them for all their success. They also just wrote a terrible song, a terrible single that bemoans woke culture. So that's
oh no, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a big hit.
If I had seen, I'm now mad at myself because if I had thought about it, I would have looked up the lyrics. The lyrics are such cringe. Oh God, they're so cringe. It's bad. I want to say it only came out like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's fucking terrible.
What's the fucking tune called?
Just Google Motley Crue new song and
Motley Crue woke song.
Anti-woke song.
Or anti-woke song.
Cancelled.
It's called Cancelled.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's called Cancelled.
Oh my God. Woke up in the morning. Edit. Woke up in the morning. You just got canceled. Daily Mail is such a handful. Take a shot. Throw a grenade. Monkeys in the internet got it made. Watch your words, good Lord, got canceled. Ride in the Capitol. Press in a grapple. TikTok videos smell like landfill. Watch your ass. You might get canceled. That's just the first verse.
I mean, it's truly a poet. The chorus is unbelievably bad. Like, what's the chorus?
Oh, okay. Hang on. Everybody wake up, wake up. Everybody shut up, shut up. Everybody stand up, stand up. Bang your heads against a motherfucking wall. I won't crawl. Will you love me when I fall down? Goodbye. Will you love me when I die?
What?
These are like 65-year-old men.
Speak your mind. You might get canceled. Call me trash. Burn down my castle. Take a shot. It's a masquerade. Digging up my dirt on your woke crusade. Supermodel sandwich. Selfie in the backseat. She said yes. Then they arrest me. What the fuck? Lock me up. Put me in shackles. Watch your ass. You might get canceled.
God,
I wonder if they asked their computer to write an AI Motley Crue song.
Yeah.
It's Neil. It's like Chat GPT. Just write me an anti-woke cancel.
Yeah. Touring soon with Kid Rock and Ted Nugent.
Yeah, for real.
Wow.
Not to be missed.
Continuing our back in the day.
AC's touring next year.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's got to be their last ever tour, right? I mean,
yeah, I might go see him.
Oh, you're not going to see him again after that, probably.
Definitely planning on seeing Metallica at the Link next year.
Ooh, hey. All right, 11/12/1992. We've got the premiere of Absolutely Fabulous. Which doesn't make sense to me because in the United States, it premiered on July 24th, 1994 with a 12-episode marathon. I feel like I was watching that show in high school, but apparently I wasn't because apparently I
don't think so.
It has all gotten squished together.
That was on. I just remember that being on Comedy Central at like odd times.
All the time. Yeah. Like all the time. There was a time when it was Comedy Central was basically Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
Absolutely Fabulous. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Dr. Katz. Remember Dr. Katz?
Yeah. I loved Dr. Katz. Which was essentially just a forum for comedians to come on and do their
shtick. Yeah.
But they had like great comedians on there.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid show. The animation was not good, but it was a solid show. And then the Wikipedia, I couldn't sum up Absolutely Fabulous better than the Wikipedia plot synopsis of it, which is Jennifer Saunders stars as Edna Monsoon, a heavy drinking, drug abusing PR mogul who spends her time failing to lose weight and chasing bizarre fads in a desperate attempt to stay young and hip. Edna's best friend is ex-model and magazine fashion director Patsy Stone, played by Joanna Lumley, whose drug abuse, alcohol consumption, desperate promiscuity far eclipse Edna's. Edna relies on the support of her daughter Saffron, Julia Salhalla, a student and aspiring writer whose constant care of her immature mother has left her bitter and cynic. So yeah, that pretty much sums that show up perfectly. So yeah, that was a fine show. I was never a huge fan of it, but
I never really watched like a full episode, but the clips I would watch would be funny, and then I'd have enough. You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I felt too. But it was just like it's just funny that there were really at that time like 7 or 8 shows that kept Comedy Central on the air. and the same like 10 or 12 movies over and over. Like they always used to show that Andrew McCarthy movie Class. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
He sleeps with his friend's mom by accident.
Rob Lowe, yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember the actress who was the mom in that movie?
It's Jacqueline Bisset, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, she was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we were talking about this on Friday, so I thought we'd bring it up, although we're not a political podcast. But we determined that our first election, at least me, Bolo, and Quinn's first election would have been November 3rd, 1992. By first election, obviously, I mean the first election we were old enough to vote in. And that was Clinton versus Bush in 1992. Dutch, you remember your first election?
Yeah, it was Kerry versus Bush.
So that would have been the other Bush.
Yep, yeah, Bush.
Yeah.
Bush Jr.
Yeah, where they swift boated Kerry.
Yeah.
So the Clinton versus Bush election, I did not vote. I didn't get to vote my first election in person. I voted absentee because I was in college. Quinn, did you vote?
I didn't vote because I, like you said, we were in college. That was our freshman year.
Yeah,
in college.
Freshman. Yeah,
and I didn't know how to register.
So you didn't vote at all?
No, I didn't vote at all. Had I voted, though, I think I told you in chat, I would have voted for Ross Perot.
Yeah,
strictly on the basis of he was the funniest on Saturday Night Live. So that's that's how well informed I was in 1992.
Yeah.
So,
Bolo, did you vote in that election, or you would have been old enough to vote in that election? But did you vote in that election?
I'm sorry. Who were the candidates again?
Bush and Clinton.
I voted for Clinton.
Okay.
That was Clinton, fresh off playing the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. He was the first. He was the first candidate that I remember that was actually cool.
Exactly.
And they went out of their way to make him cool. I mean, now we know he's a fucking horrible person, but at the time,
I mean, come on, it's Bill.
Well, I mean, there's levels of horrible people, right?
He appeared. He appeared on MTV, and that they had that town hall with the kids, and they asked him boxers or briefs.
Yep.
And that made headlines.
It's like, I don't wear underwear at all.
and that was I want to say that was the first year MTV did Rock the Vote. That was the first election that they did Rock the Vote, to try to get younger people to actually vote, and which, I mean, it worked. I was invested in that election big time. I remember getting election material from your ex, Quinn.
Yeah.
At the time. So there was a 58% turnout, which I feel like's pretty good, all things considered. Clinton won the election with 370 electoral votes. It was the first time a Democrat had won the presidency without winning Texas. So that's interesting.
That's crazy. Yeah, shows you how much the country's been.
Yeah, Texas is a big swing state.
Yeah, can you imagine a Democrat winning Texas now?
No,
that's
election would be over.
Every year they're like, "Is this the year Texas is going to flip blue?" I'm like, "This was the year that shit just went wrong."
I mean, it's crazy to think that, though. I mean, it went blue. I mean, it was a blue state. If any time a Democrat had won prior to Clinton, it went blue. So it would have been Carter, which would have been, what was that, 76, I guess?
Yeah.
It was also the last time to date that Montana voted for a Democratic candidate. And it was the last time until 2020 that Georgia voted for a Democratic president. Clinton flipped a total of 22 states that had voted Republican in 1988, which would have been the previous election before this one. So this is interesting.
Shows you how much they hated George Bush.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, and I don't really remember this, at one point in 1992, polls showed Ross Perot leading the race, followed by Bush, and then Clinton in third place. That is fucking crazy, dude. That's like RFK Jr. was leading the race in like April of this year. Like, it's just nuts.
Well, when you talk about Bill Clinton, I remember Bill Maher, the comedian and TV show host, saying that there's some people that make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. And he's like, there's been two people in my life that made me feel like I was the best person ever. It's like, it's Bill Clinton. He's so happy to see you. He's so caring about, who you are and interested in who you are. That makes him really likable and personable. And he said the other one was Don King, the boxing promoter. So take that for what it's worth.
Is Don King still alive?
That's a good question. I think so.
I think he is. I feel like we would have heard if he had died, right?
Can't remember.
Only in America.
Yeah. Speaking of Ross Perot, he won 19% of the popular vote, which is the highest share of the vote won by a candidate outside of the two major parties since 1912. But he didn't win any electoral votes, which just shows you how fucking stupid our goddamn system is. But anyway, Clinton won with almost all the demographics except for the really old folks and the really rich folks. And he won really overwhelmingly with 18 to 29-year-olds, which is the category we would have fallen into. And I think, honestly, that's because we thought he was cool. So,
yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Don King is still alive, by the way. He is 93 years old.
Damn.
Good Lord.
Oh, good for him. He killed a man.
Yeah. He killed
just
two
to
men.
watch him die?
I don't know, but he did.
Killed two men, but one of them was considered justifiable homicide.
Yeah. All right, guys, the top 10 songs on Election Day, 1992.
Welcome to American Top 40. My name's Casey Kasem, and we're about to count down the 40 biggest hits in the USA.
Now in an attempt, a feeble attempt, to not have to fight 400,000 copyright claims on YouTube, I'm only going to play certain songs in our top 10 today. So our top 10 for November the 3rd, 1992. Number 10, we have What About Your Friends by TLC. Anybody know that song? I'm going to sing it.
Go ahead. Have at it, buddy.
I don't know it. I mean, I do know it, but I'm not going to sing it. But that would be number 10. Number 9 is Real Love.
Mary J. Blige.
By Mary J. Blige, which is not the real love I was thinking of. I was thinking of the Real Love by Jody Watley.
You're too late for that. 92.
Yeah, but that's the superior Real Love. This is the Mary J. Blige. Yeah.
I remember those beats.
Those 90s beats never get old.
Nope.
There's a ton of Real Love songs. Speaking of great beats, however,
what
in the fuck are you doing?
Chris Jones, what is happening?
I'm moving my tablet. I'm good.
I'm going to move your neck in an unnatural position.
Okay, Zack Snyder.
Damn,
heard that. All right, speaking of great beats, number 8. Rump Shaker by Rex and Effect. Number 7, Rhythm is a Dancer by Snap. That's a great one.
Yeah.
And then we go from Rump to Jump with number 6. Jump around. Okay, I did that. It's pretty good. Number 5 is Erotica by Madonna. That's the song where she rhymes erotic and body. Don't really rhyme. And then we have a song I had to look up. I couldn't remember. It is Sometimes Love Ain't Enough.
Can we get one with a guitar at some point?
I'll try my best. This one might have a guitar. Sometimes Love Ain't Enough by Patti Smith.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
hate this fucking song.
Yeah, I love that. That's
Don Henley in there.
I was gonna say Don Henley's on that tune.
Yeah.
Repeat my.
Patty Smythe of Warrior fame. And Goodbye to You.
She sang Goodbye to You?
Yeah.
And that song, she sang the same. Wow.
You know, Shooting at the Walls of Heartache. That's her.
Yeah, that's her too.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
See, doesn't that add some more cred to that song now? You can go back and listen with fresh ears.
Yep. The council has spoken, right?
Ugh. Number 3 is "I Die Without You" by PM Dawn, which is a great song.
That is a great song.
Yeah,
they're really good. All their songs are good. Number 2, "How Do You Talk to an Angel" by The Heights. Which, I wouldn't consider a great song. And then
that was from a TV show, wasn't it? Like when you think of the '90s, you think of the 90210s and all that stuff. I think I want to say that song is from one of those shows.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And then the number 1 song, which was in my high school, Kennett High School, go Demons, we didn't have a senior prom. We had a junior prom and then a senior dinner dance. But I think this song was probably the what do you call it? Is it the theme of the prom or the dinner dance or whatever? Whatever it is.
It's like the Earth. This was your in your Back to the Future.
Whatever, the song of the event. So this was like our senior dinner dance song, and it was I would have to guess throughout high schools all across the country that this was probably a consensus pick for most of those types of things because it fits in with that whole theme, and it's this, of course. So this was our senior dinner dance theme song. Boys to Men, local heroes.
Unpopular opinion. I hate that song.
Oh, that sounds fucking horrible.
And I don't like pretty much any Boys to Men song. I hate it. I didn't love Belle Biv DeVoe, like all that group in the '90s. And just
remember we
felt ostracized because everybody loved them.
There was like this whole resurgence of
sort of
what is that like
doo-wop kind of
almost music?
Yeah. It's almost like neo doo-wop though. It wasn't like it was kind of a little bit different, but kind of similar.
Yeah,
because there was Boys to Men. There was
well, like you said, Belle Biv DeVoe. Well, Belle Biv DeVoe was a little more.
But who was the other big one of the '90s that was like there was Boys to Men and there was another group that it was almost like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, but for that genre. Like
there was also Jodeci.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
there were a bunch.
And then there was also the umbrella that music fell under was what you.
Bolo, what is going on with your microphone?
I can't hear a word you say, man.
It's called New Jack Swing. You remember Teddy Riley and Guy?
Over the course of this podcast, Bolo has shrunk down. He's just slowly sliding down the couch.
To the point
his voice is getting farther and farther away.
And we only see his head at this point.
Yeah.
I want a New Jack Swing upside your head. That's funny because he'll kill me.
He knows it too. That's why he's got that big smile on his face.
Oh yeah,
right. He's like, "Yeah, sure you are."
Like, no, you can. I'm just gonna laugh.
Get up on a step ladder to swing at my face. How's your frog doing, Bolo? That my daughter gave you.
Oh, it's in my car. The frog is around with me every day.
You made her night the way you went on about that. So happy.
Hey man, hey look, man. She seemed a little shy. I went over and I introduced myself, and then 45 minutes later, here comes the frog. So I think I won her over. So I was very touched by her gesture.
That's true. It's the frog of friendship.
That is the frog of friendship. And
all right, our last Back in the Day, which is also from November of 1992, which is the release of Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, and Keanu Reeves, with Richard Grant, Carrie Lewis, Billy Campbell, Sadie Frost, and Tom Waits. Released November 13th, 1992, on a budget of $40 million. It made just under $216 million. It won 3 Oscars, including Best Costume Design, Best Sound Editing, and Best Makeup. That movie is notable to me and Quinn because we bundled up in our winter best with a group of about 10 or 12 of us and walked from our dorm room to the movie theater in downtown York College, down a somewhat major highway, in the dark.
Yep.
To the movie theater to see it. I want to say it was a solid 45-minute to an hour long walk.
Yeah.
One way. See Bram Stoker's Dracula on opening weekend in college. That was a big deal because we never got to do anything outside of the campus.
Very true.
And I remember we all watched it and we all left suitably horny.
Okay, all right.
There were a lot of boobies in that movie.
That is a horny movie. A good movie. However,
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. Keanu Reeves is not good in it, but everybody else is really good.
But we were talking before. Keanu Reeves at the time was not expected to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we knew him from Bill and Ted.
And, young.
Yeah. Playing that, California surfer type character in everything he had been in. So,
including Victorian England, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But I forgot Billy Campbell was in it. That was he was the Rocketeer, right?
Yeah, not in that movie, in a different movie.
Well, no, the Rocketeer didn't make a guest appearance in Dracula.
That would have been something if he just comes down at the end.
Lands, Dracula versus the Rocketeer.
In his heart and just flies away.
I'd see that movie.
My job
he turns into a bat. That won't save you.
Yeah.
3 out of 10 Van Helsings. I loved it.
But yeah, that's a cool movie. It's got some really cool effects. The costumes are incredible. All of the effects are done in camera. Yeah. No, he didn't want to do any computer generated or optical effects. It was all done on set and in camera. So that's pretty awesome.
There's some optical effects in there, but it's like I know exactly what you're saying now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, obviously there's tweaks and things, but it's essentially done with practical effects, which is pretty cool. I love the
stick puppet,
the scene where his shadow is
it's reacting differently.
Looming. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, but isn't there I'm remembering like an effect shot where it's the exterior of the castle and you see that he's wearing that red robe thing and you just see it crawl from one window to the other. Yeah. Like in my mind, that's a computer effect. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
I mean, you're talking about 1992. So
still
a computer effect in 1992. I don't know.
They were not that good yet. See the T-1000.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't anywhere near that.
Hey, man, I saw The Last Starfighter. They could be good when they wanted to be.
It's funny that you say that because we were watching the Mummy, the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie. The other night was on TV, and I was like, I haven't seen this in a while. Let me put this on. It's actually that movie's held up really well.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, but the effects, the CG, man, it's just that era's CG is just it looks so bad. So I mean, I can't imagine what CG would if there was even CG in 1992, what that shit would look like. It would not be good. But
well, when did what is it? Young Sherlock Holmes? When did that come out?
80. Was that 80? No,
that was in the
80s. That was the
90s. I think that was in the 80s, right? And that had
I thought it was was it 80s?
The stained glass guy.
Yeah, I don't know when that came out though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dracula was a pretty decent flick.
Right. Tell you what, for my taste, that's one of the best film scores ever written. The music in that movie. I mean, come on, dude. Everybody's heard the freaking the music when he's journeying to the castle, like the dun 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 dun. Like, come on. And like, I love the opening titles of that. Like when he's going nuts, he's like, "I renounce God," and like you just hear, like you see the Dracula, the title card, and you just hear, like the choir screaming. I love it.
Yeah, man, that's a good flick. And then they tried to kind of capture that same vibe with they did a Frankenstein movie, like 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein
with Robert De Niro. Yeah, and it didn't quite catch on. Like,
although I don't think
Dracula.
that movie actually has a lot to enjoy in it. I don't think it's as terrible as people say it is. It's just not on the level of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I don't know if I've seen that Dracula's movie since I was 18. Like I've caught clips of it here and then. Yeah,
really?
The one you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I was 18 when we saw that, when we made that walk, and I don't think I've seen it all the way through since.
Wow.
Yeah, I own that movie for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it like within the last 2 years, probably. Brandy loves it. I don't love it by any stretch, but I mean, I'll definitely watch it. It's got some really cool. The makeup effects for Dracula, especially when he's old man Dracula, are fucking awesome. He's so creepy and awesome in that.
I mean, I feel like the clips I've seen of it since then are like, real melodramatic. You know what I mean?
Super. Yeah,
I remember being super into it as a kid, but like as an adult, seeing some clips and going, that's a bit much.
Yeah, it's very melodramatic.
Yeah.
But,
be interesting to watch it again.
It's Francis Ford Coppola. He's an auteur.
They actually, I'll tell you what, I think just this past weekend or at least this past week, it might have been on Saturday, in Chicago, they had a couple nights where they played the score live to the movie.
Yeah.
And Francis Ford Coppola was actually in attendance for, I think, at least one of them. Yeah.
That's cool.
Because my friend Richard was there.
Nice. That's pretty
cool. All I got to add. That's it. Nothing profound.
Oh, good. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. All right, listen. I think that's all I have. So unless anybody else feels like shooting the shit about
any updates on the Dogman?
No,
I'm invested in the Dogman story now.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't gone into the Dogman group. I should peek in there. But for the next episode, I'll peek in there and see if there's any updates on Dogman.
Yeah, we need periodic Dogman updates on this podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's for sure. I agree. I mean,
we need to give voice to this phenomenon.
We learned a lot of other things. I mean, tonight we learned that cows aren't a real animal. So
that's true. That's true.
How are cows not a real animal?
Oh, you missed.
Oh, did you miss that part?
You missed
the Bolo.
Yeah.
Man, how is that not a real animal?
They're man-made, and pigs are part muskrat, something like that.
And hyena. They're like a hybrid of hyena and muskrat.
How are we coming into this information about cows?
Look, man, you just look.
Am I supposed to just roll with it?
It's just people that have done their own research. All right,
these are just facts now.
That's all you got to know. All right, people have done their own research, and now you know.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I.
Joe. Man, it is November. It's getting ready to be the most wonderful time of the year. I'm so excited.
The
next episode
2024 has flown by.
Yeah,
it really has. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done 30 episodes of this show. I think that's why it's flown by, because we're having so much fun together.
Yeah, that must be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the next episode, I guess, will be like Thanksgiving week, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Yeah. BANANAS. All right.
What are we doing for Thanksgiving then?
We are
for the Thanksgiving episode or for Thanksgiving in general?
Well, the episode, but I mean,
I don't know. What should we do? We'll have to ponder it. What did we do last year for Thanksgiving? I don't remember what we did. I don't know. Let's just put on an old Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade and do commentary over it.
Okay.
Play Alice's
restaurant
over. Play Alice's restaurant on a loop.
Oh yeah, we could do that too. Yeah, like Pierre Robert does every Thanksgiving on WMR.
Yo, that dude's awesome. I got to meet him one time.
Did you?
Yeah, he was on my friend Grover had a show on PBS called Counterculture that I used to work on. I was like on the staff of the shooting days, and Pierre Robert was one of his guests. He came out to Doylestown, Hatboro. We used to shoot it at a diner in Hatboro called Daddy Pops. And I just remember meeting him. He came out there. I guess Grover knew him, but it was cool. He's funny.
Yeah, he's a legit like legend, I think. Like not just Philadelphia legend, but like he's probably a legit like radio legend at this point, I would think. I wish MMR would like change their, I don't know, man. They just play the same shit every day. It's really annoying. But that's neither here nor there. Although I do troll their page on Facebook regularly. Although I think they blocked me because I don't see their posts anymore. They probably got tired of me. He probably got tired of me being a wise ass to them on Facebook.
That's one of my favorite things to do on Facebook is see what Brian has said on the MMR page.
I didn't know that was the thing. Now that I missed it.
Yeah.
I'll have to look and see if I'm still, because you know how Facebook is. It doesn't like I could still be following them and they just haven't shown up in my feed for a year and a half for whatever reason.
No, they definitely.
I used to troll the shit out of them. They'd be like, they'd say something about like, oh, stay tuned for a block of Alice in Chains at noon or something, and I'd be like, or if you miss it, stay tuned tomorrow when we do another block of Alice in Chains, because they play the same shit every day.
Yeah. They'll talk about all this new music they're playing, and Brian will be like, "Is that in between blocks of Tom Petty?"
Okay, so I found WMMR's page very easily. They might well have blocked you, Brian.
Well, I mean, hang on. Well, let's.
I'm gonna now search WMMR Brian Matashio. I gotta see that.
There, it says 9 new. They just don't pop up in my feed anymore. So yeah, I don't know why. But yeah,
it's good times.
Can you just search a person on there?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You said something about the Preston and Steve show back in 2014.
2014.
If I don't.
2014. Good Lord.
Yeah.
It's just that's all that's showing up so far.
I'm also big on trolling my local community page. Love doing that.
Very nice.
Yeah. Like today, somebody said
somebody needs to alert WMMR that Sublime is fucking horrible and always has been.
I think one time I posted something like, people say it's a shame that the lead singer of Sublime died right after their first album came out. I say it's a shame that he died, that he didn't die before they recorded.
Fucked up, dude. Come on, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, dude.
I fucking hate Sublime.
Man, come on, man. That's over the line. As these guys cackle. I'm trying to be the reasonable one here for once.
All right. We got an email. It's the genxlounge@gmail.com. You can also send text messages to the podcast directly through the little text message link. You can also tell your friends to listen to the frickin' show. That would be cool. We would like it. All right, guys. Dutch, anything you want to plug?
I already did earlier in the show.
That's right, you did. Find Dutch's stuff and watch it or listen to it.
I'm all plugged up. I wish I hadn't said that just now. Fuck.
Drink some Metamucil. You'll be all right.
I'm getting to that age.
Hey, look. No shame.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No shame in my game.
Still 10 years behind y'all.
There's no shame in my game. Bolo, you got anything you want to plug?
No plugs this time. I'm good.
No plugs. I know you don't want to plug anything, Quinn.
I do not.
All right. Everybody, thanks so much for listening. We will talk to you in a couple of weeks. Bye, 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 bye.
speak.